Hello, lovers. Welcome to Hugs and Medleys, where we keep it real, raw, and relatable about love, marriage, and relationships. Now, today, we are going to be looking at one of the biggest unspoken struggle in Nigerian marriages, the financial pressure on men. Let's be honest, in Nigeria, being a husband is almost like having a full-time job as an ATM. Your wife calls, honey, we need money for groceries. Your child's school fees, is due. Daddy, my teacher said you should bring money tomorrow. Your in-laws call, our son, we need some support from you. And God help you, if you ever say, I don't have that money right now, they go come to tell you, say, you now weekly, say you which kind thing, they ever get money. Because in that moment, you're no longer the head of the house. You are now a weak man, a careless husband, or even a disgrace. Now, the sad truth is that many Nigerian men are suffering in silence, carrying a financial burden that is breaking them mentally, emotionally, and physically. So today, let's talk about it, okay? I know that this is one area that a lot of people don't want to talk about. Where did this idea of husband as ATM come from? Is it fair or even realistic in today's economy, especially for those who are living in Nigeria? And how can couples handle money better without, killing their marriage? This is what we will be talking about today. Now, the traditional Nigerian husband, is he supposed to be a provider or a victim? Is a question that a lot of people have been asking, okay? Yeah, in our culture, the idea of a real man is deeply tied to how much money he can provide. From childhood, boys are raised to believe that their main role in life is to become a man and take care of their family. Society expects a man to work non-stop, no complaint, no excuses, okay? If his wife is suffering, he has failed as a man. If he asks for financial help, he is weak, okay? If he cannot provide, he is weak. But here is the problem. Life has changed, okay? Back in the day, one man's salary could feed an entire household. As a matter of fact, there were times where one man, it might just be one educated man in an entire community, trying to put every other child in that community in school. Today, even two salaries are not enough to survive in Nigeria. So why are we still expecting one man to carry everything? And you see, that's the narrative that we have that is making young people, find it very difficult to stay in their matrimonial homes, okay? And yes, and a lot of women kind of expect the men to change water into wine, okay? Which doesn't really seem like something that is obtainable right now. Reality check, Nigerian men are struggling. A lot of men are, dying silently from stress because they are overworked and underappreciated. Now, I'm afraid to open up about financial struggles because society expects them to be strong. They feel like failures when they can't meet financial expectations. They develop health problems, high blood pressure, depression, and, it's a whole lot. And let's be real, a man who is constantly worried about money cannot be emotionally present in his marriage. He has no time to talk. He has no energy for romance. He has no peace of mind. Just bills, 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 bills. It's applicable to even men across the globe, but I feel like because of the economic situation of the country, Nigeria, the men, they suffer most, okay? Dear wives, your husband is not an ATM, okay? A lot of women are not trying to be wicked. They simply grow up believing that a man's job is to provide for everything. But in today's world, this mentality is destroying marriages. When a man is financially stressed, he becomes emotionally distant. When a man is emotionally distant, the marriage starts to suffer. When the marriage starts to suffer, both parties become unhappy. So what can we do different differently is what we are going to right now, okay? Now, if you're meeting this face for the first time or you're seeing this face for the first time, my name is Dr. Anosong Emmanuel Bukish, okay? I am glad that you are here. Together, we will learn and grow together. Now, solution, how couples can handle money better. Have an honest conversation about your finances. I did this video last week. Stop assuming your husband has money just because he is a man, okay? Sit down and discuss income, expenses, and financial goals as partners. If you can support. If you are earning money, contribute to the family in any way that you can as a woman. Even if you can't pay big bills, cover small bills, groceries, kids need, and all that. Encourage your husband. Don't just pressure them, okay? Stop comparing your husband to others. Some men drive big cars but are in deep debt, okay? Some men give their wives everything but they are emotionally absent. Focus on what works for your marriage instead of chasing social media standard. Plan your finances together. Don't just, spend money anyhow. Budget as a couple, okay? Avoid unnecessary debt just to keep up appearances. Save and invest wisely to reduce financial pressure. Now, I see, recently I had a conversation with a lady, okay? And I had to speak to her. And the reason why this conversation is getting in here, I also asked her if I could use this. She was going to buy a perfume, okay? And right now in Nigeria, for you to get a reasonable perfume, you will have to spend up to 250,000 naira, okay? To get anything reasonable that can linger for up to maybe 7 hours, you have to spend up to 250,000 naira. If you're going for anything less than that, it's not going to work for you, okay? And so, she was budgeting to buy a perfume, and her budget was 250,000 naira. They live in Abuja and they live in a place called Duse Alahaji. And their rent in that place where they live in a one-bedroom flat. And their rent is about 700,000 naira. And she said they were owing. Now, I said, well, you told me you were owing and that you people are owing rent and you want to buy a perfume you're saving towards a perfume of 250 and you're owing 750. She said that's not her responsibility. That's her husband's responsibility, but she lives in the same house. And after we had that conversation, it was like a counseling section. I spoke to her and I told her that I know that a lot of young people are making these kinds of choices. Does she mind if I have this discussion? And she said yes, as long as names will not be mentioned. A lot of people are still making these kinds of choices. Whoever tells you that it is your husband's responsibility to do everything, and you as a woman, even if you cannot support, that narrative is very wrong. You are not going to be happy living like that, because at the end of the day, if something goes wrong with that husband, it is your husband, not their husband, those who are telling you this. Now, I'm going to tell you this as I close this conversation with you. Marriage is supposed to be about love, teamwork, and partnership. But when money becomes the only focus, it turns into a burden. To every husband feeling like an ATM, please speak up. To every wife treating her husband like a money machine, please rethink. And to every couple struggling financially, work together. It's you two against the problem, not, against each other. Let's stop measuring love in naira and kobo, because at the end of the day, money will come and go, but a happy marriage is priceless. Like I said earlier, my name is Dr. Anosong Emmanuel Bukish.